Okay, now as you can see, the software's been loaded, and how I got it on there was I loaded this first disk. This is called the MPC software, and of course it says load this disk first. So I loaded that disk first, and I got my software here. So my application folder, and I opened it. So the next one I had to load, I loaded the 809 expansion kit. Now we got 4 of them, so that's one of them there. We got the noise also, the noise MPC expansion kit. We got something here called WB, and that's the MPC expansion kit as well. And one last one called the bank. And right there's the bank. Now once I load them up, you see in my browser here on the left-hand side, I've got my browser right here. I just navigate here by clicking here and going to where that's at and what drive it's on. Once I'm there, it's in my library, as you can see, application support, and it's in that AKAI MPC folder, and we'll see I've got the MPC factory content, MPC documents, home folder, documents, desktop C, so I'm just going right to this folder here. Now before you start, it's important for you to have your system set up properly. If you're running a Mac or a PC, you need to know what are the requirements to run the Renaissance software. So there's a little manual that comes with this, and there's a reference manual that's on the install disk. And here we have here, I've already installed it, so here it is, installing the MPC software. And here are our system requirements for PC and Mac. Now follow this, you should have no problems at all. Now I keep my manual running, of course, particularly when I'm trying to explain to people how a system works. I already know it from reading it somewhat, and then I want to go over some ideas. So we're going to go over a lot of stuff that's not in the manual as well too, and then we're going to tell you what to do throughout this entire lesson plan for everything. But we're going to explain everything step by step. So before you start for the first time, you need to unlock the MPC software. And there are some steps to do that, of course, in the manual. You've got to connect the MPC Renaissance to a power source, put the USB cable in, put the other end in the computer, power your MPC Renaissance up, open the Mac software, and then there's going to be some boxes that appear to fill out, of course. And put the information in, and you're good to go. And you see some stuff right here. This is what you're going to see. You fill that out. Unlock now. Use web for form. Enter the code. Or cancel. See, some options right there, as you can see. It's pretty simple and easy to do. Now you got your MPC out. It looks beautiful. You like it. Okay, I love it. Okay, look. You want to get familiar with it. Okay? And what I want you to do is say, press a button. See what happens on the software as you press a button. Go to the software. Click on something here. If I move the cursor in this area here, it turns into a pencil, a little red pencil there. That means, obviously, we can write in that section. I can go here to the file browser to the left here, click on Program, and we're in Program. Sequence, we're in Sequence. Right, here's the banks, Bank A. I can go to Banks right here and click. Let's hit a pad. Wow, look at that pad. Pad turns red. Why is that going red? Looks nice, right? Let me go back here to, wow, it turned green. You see that? It turned green. Be aware of that. If I hit it hard, look at that. Hit press to hold it down, it's red. Up. I just finished hitting it. It's green. Let me know you just hit that pad. Get familiar. Some of these things you can actually just see and say, oh, well, I know what that means. I see what that's doing. But get familiar with your machine. I can go to here. I'm going to go to Q-Link. Let's see, number 4. As I turn this 4, well, I don't see nothing there for Q-Link, right? So I'm going to go to Q-Link here, Shift, Q-Link, and now I got it. So I press Shift. This turns amber, signifying that the Q-Link is now on. I can go to here, turn the knob, and you'll see that these knobs also have little LED lights there, and you see the same thing happen in the software. So this is important to do. We want to make sure that we are in sync with the software, that we press a button. It's also enacting some sort of button on the software, or a pad, say the pad right there in the software, or let's say I want to go to the folders, and it's enabling these things to just turn off and on, which is great. I want to go to project. See, I go to project, and it moves to project. I hit that pad, that's cool. I go back here, that pad's green. It's still red here, see that? That's red. Now this is green, but we don't see it here, see that? Be aware of that. See how that works totally. Also, I'm going to go here. As you can see, as I hit these pads, you'll notice here in this area here that it's telling us that's A8 right there. See that? I hit that. That is A8. Here's, what's that? That's 12, 11, 10, 9. I can go here to D. And now you see it's D right here. So get familiar with the buttons and the pads. See how they change colors. Like, for example, if we go to a shift, the button's not going to be red anymore. It's amber. It's kind of cool. Press it without holding down shift, it's back to being red again. So get familiar with what these buttons do and how they work with the machine. Now, for example, here, my transport section. And I can go, let's say, back to program, we'll say, also sequence, we'll say, and let's press. And we heard that happen right there. That's our metronome. So what's this here? Here we go. We got our metronome right here. Here's our volume control for the metronome. Okay. So you see it's happening right there, and that's our control for it, right? But that button is not on the MPC.